Yo, what up guys, MxgicIQ here, and today I'm a little bit under the weather, so please forgive me for that. But without further ado, I am making my return to the Division 2. I've really missed this game, but first things first, I wanted to hit you guys with the best PvP builds in the Division 2 period. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Right now, this is the #1 PvP build. If you are a competitive, I guess you could say PvP player, and you do 4s and things like that. And I also have some footage going against another popular content creator in a 4v4, and they were all using that brand new SMG that is very strong, along with EMP jammer stickies. And I was still using an AR build with 2 of my teammates only using the new SMG, with one of them switching back to the AR about halfway through the fights once they started focusing him. So we only had one of the new exotic SMGs on our team, and it just goes to show how strong ARs really are. And in this new update, we are going to be using this new gun, I guess you could say, to the meta at least, because this gun has been in the game. How you unlock this gun is by killing all hunters. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube, so make sure you guys look up how to kill all the hunters. It is the ivory key unlockable weapon in the base of operations, you guys will see right here. So in order to get this gun, you need to kill all the hunters, as I said. Make sure you guys look that up and find a tutorial. I'll link one down below in the description if you guys don't want to go that far. Shout out to whoever made that video. But without further ado, this will be the new best build coming into this new update for PvP in terms of competitive, and as of right now, using the FAMAS with this build will be your best option as well. So let's get straight into it. But before we check out the build, I have some gameplay for you guys. Let's go ahead and watch that. I will leave a timestamp though right here and in the comments, so you guys can skip straight to the build if you guys don't want to see how it runs. Peace. Alrighty guys, so now that you guys have watched the gameplay, let's go ahead and take a look at this actual build here. What we got is an Unbreakable Adrenaline Rush build. A lot of people already know that these exist, but for any new players, this is what you're going to want to aim for. This is the best possible outcome for this build, in my personal opinion. There are a few different ways to run this exact same build though, and I'm going to show you all the variants in terms of team comp that I like to run when I'm playing fours or pick up fours with people, or I'm just even in a twos, duo and we're running the dark zone. So let's go ahead and take a look here. First things first, you're going to want, as of right now, the FAMAS 2010 with Optimist, damage to targets at the cover on the bottom attribute, and obviously you want all your core attributes maxed out. And you want to run, for the mods, all crit chance mods. You don't want to run a crit damage mod because you'll be losing out on the necessary crit chance needed. Minimum, I think you want about 53%. I have a 59% version, and I will show you guys that as well. Okay, so like I said, 53% crit chance here on this build in its entirety. We are running all crit chance mods here. For the secondary weapon, you can honestly run whatever. I just put the chatterbox on the back because I like the way the smoke comes out of the gun. But if you were to actually ask me what secondary I would recommend, I'd recommend the Eagle Bearer. A lot of people are saying this gun, the Shield Splinterer, is going to be the meta when it comes to a next update. But I personally think that the Eagle Bearer with damage to targets out of cover on the bottom is going to be pretty darn good as well. And since I like to use a lot of headshot builds as well, if you guys want to check that out, I have one in the card up there. I really love using this gun. I think damage to targets out of cover is going to make it just even stronger. So make sure you guys look out for that as well. But the new Shield Splinter will have a 60 clip and 900 RPM. But anyway, getting into the first piece of gear, we have the Catharsis Mask. I don't know why people even call this cheese, but I mean, it is by far probably the strongest survivability item in the game in terms of solo DPS / tank players. But in terms of in a group, it just really helps because it's just nice to have for survivability sakes. If you're getting focused, you can just strafe, get your heal on the ground and strafe in it, heal right back up. On top of having a healer, it's pretty hard to die with this thing on if you're just running a server. But a nice secondary to run will be the Coyote's Mask at 1.7, and I'll show you guys what the stats look like differently, at least in terms of that. So I usually run the same build and just switch between these two masks if I want a little bit more damage or my team needs Coyotes. This is still the same build that I run. I will show you a Punish 1.7 version of it though, if you have a healer and you have somebody on your team with Coyotes and you want to do the max amount of damage while still being survivable. So for the chest, we are using a Seska chest. Want to have at least double crit with Unbreakable, or a blue up top with 1 crit and Unbreakable, and you can switch crit damage or crit chance onto that second attribute slot. But I'm pretty sure Seska and Fenris only really drop red, so you're gonna really want double crit with Unbreakable on the drop. That might be hard to get, but if you guys can finesse that, this is your go-to chest piece. Okay, now going down to the holster, the Picaro's holster, by far the best in the slot at the moment. Comes with armor always up top, but you can roll crit damage onto it, so no matter what, it'll always roll with armor. So you just need to get one. It's really not that hard to just get one, so just get one to drop and roll crit damage onto it, and it'll always have that 15% weapon damage, as that is the special ability on this Picaro's holster. Now going over to the knee pads, we are running the Fox Prayers Overlord Armaments knee pads that come with damage to targets out of cover, which is multiplicative. Okay, that's what we need right there. We want to make sure it comes with the blue and crit damage. Okay, we need to make sure it drops with crit damage because these knee pads always drop with red up top, so you need to drop it with crit damage. Crit chance would be okay, but crit damage is the most optimal in terms of this build. Okay, so make sure it rolls with crit damage and then roll armor up top. Going to the gloves, I am running a double crit Fenris gloves here with armor up top because I want that 10% assault rifle damage. It is very, very much so necessary. All right, now when it comes to the backpack, you guys, you're gonna need the Matador, okay? Because Perfect Adrenaline Rush is by far the way better. It's way better than regular Adrenaline Rush. I guess you could maybe switch it out for a Grupo backpack and hope for some more damage, but Perfect Adrenaline Rush, there's really just no reason to run without it, and the 5% weapon damage, base damage, is better anyway in terms of my opinion, in terms of consistency. So you're going to need that with double crit as well, and roll armor up top. Okay, 12% crit damage on that mod as well. So all the mod slots for all the gear are all rolled to 12% crit damage. Okay, not rolled, but equipped with 12% crit damage in mods. For the pistol, any pistol with the finisher talent is going to be sufficient. I have a bunch of pistols here that I use. The best would be the Orbit, because it will give you an additional 35% hit crit chance and 40% critical hit damage, but you are capped to 60 in terms of crit chance, so you're really just benefiting from the damage there and hitting your crit chance cap, which is always helpful. for the in terms of skills, the main skills ran in PvP, at least for competitive PvP, is the defender drone skill and the jammer. Okay, last night they were running that EMP sticky, which is a very, very strong stagger as well. The EMP sticky bomb is very strong for that reason. Okay, very, very nice talents there. For the secondary now, because it is actually very, very strong, you can run the new SMG. I just personally prefer the Eagle Bear. All right, guys. Now, before I forget, you guys are going to want to run the Firewall. Okay, you're going to want to run Firewall for the specialization. It is absolutely necessary. It has the best armor kit in the game, period, at least in my opinion. If you are playing in a group, one of you guys can run Survivalist with the same build, though, and it'll be very beneficial, as everybody does need a team kit at some point. Okay, now getting to the stats, you guys see here, we have 53% crit chance and 141% crit damage. That is going to be your go-to stats for this build. Trust me, it is very, very much so min-max at these numbers, okay? This is very, very good. When you get that orbit finish, you will get up to 180% crit damage and 60% crit chance cap, which is amazing. As you guys can see, the actual armor number here is 1.9. If you were to roll all of these pieces to max expertise, you'd probably be somewhere around 2 million to 2.1 maybe million armor. Okay, so that is amazing for PvP. It gives you a lot of damage with a ton of survivability, and I highly recommend it. If you guys were to run this for a punish type build, what I do here is I go all multiplicative damage. I personally roll the contractor's gloves onto this build. At that point, equip these. These come with damage to armor as well, with crit damage on the bottom and 170,000 armor up top. And I simply switch my mask to the Fenris mask before we delta there. And that will give you an immense amount of damage, okay? So when you're punishing people, you wait for somebody to pull their gun up and you guys focus fire them, you're going to be the one to clip them as fast as possible. That's going to do a ton of damage with just that one small change, okay? Multiplicative damage is very strong. You will also gain an extra red from switching to 1.7, and you can also run that same build at 1.9, but personally, if I'm on a punish kind of roll in my group, I'm definitely going to want 1.7 mil armor with that one extra red. If you were to go ahead and expertise all of these items, you probably could get around 1.8 million armor as well, so it's still insanely strong. We do have the FAMAS there. If I want to do a ton of damage, sometimes I run the black market AKM. If somebody's really low, that'll just rip through their armor, as well as the SIG 556, kind of a gun that I really, really love in this game and run kind of as my secret weapon, but I love the SIG 556, a very good secondary as well, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Another way you can run it, I told you guys already, was with the Coyotes mask. So here, if we were to switch our gloves back to the Fenris gloves, and go ahead and throw on that Coyotes mask. What that's going to do now, as you guys will see by our stats, on top of buffing our entire team, is put us at 59 and 151. I'm pretty sure that's a little low because my crit damage isn't maxed out. So 153 and 59 will be your stats once you throw that mask on, which is also amazing. 59% crit chance as well. If you feel for some reason you're running ones or something like that, and you're not hitting all your crits, that is going to be the only change I would make. You can also throw a crit chance mod on the 1.9 build and switch it, but I think your crit damage will be a little low. But if you feel for some reason you're hitting all whites that day and your crit luck is terrible, that's probably the best way to run it, okay? I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you guys are running for PvP. Again, this is just simply the best build and the different ways to run it. There are multiple builds that are great in PvP, as well as Striker that I'll be coming out with soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay and the breakdown. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's my first div video in a while, so go ahead and show some love by hitting that like button. It would mean a lot. Make sure you guys check me out over on Twitch. We're grinding for TU20, and we're going to check out the PTS at some point this week as well. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Later.